Welcome back to part 8 of What If Naruto was born with the Rinnegan. What if he had the Rinnegan? I'm having to redo this video because my battery died out on me right before I finished the video, so it was no good, which really sucks. But I'm on the charger, my computer's charged up, so I got all the time in the world now. So with that said, a little bit of housekeeping, cleaning real quick. Two things just to address real quick. There was a conversation about chakra in the comments about Hinata's chakra levels and about how she met, I believe it's Hamura Otsutsuki, who was basically one of the heads of the Okutsukian who had the Byakugan, and how he imparted her with his chakra that gives her much larger chakra reserves than, say, your average Kunoichi would. Or, just an average ninja, I suppose. And I had to look into that, and they were right. That is something that happened in Naruto, the last movie, when she was an adult, not when she was a kid. So that doesn't really apply to this scenario right now. And then, I'm not going to say who said it, but someone basically said, yeah, dude, face it. It's like, you know what, no matter, I can't remember exactly how he said. I could look up the what they said, but one way or another, Naruto is going to wind up with an ability for his Rinnegan. I'm like, you don't know me very well if that's the case. I don't got to do jack, any of you say. I mean, I take requests because I find it very helpful, and I love making you guys part of the channel, but let's be very clear. I don't have to do a damn thing any of you say. And if I don't feel like I'm going to give him an ability, I'm probably not going to give him an ability. And if I'm going to be honest with you right now, I don't feel like I'm going to give him an ability. He's already got the Rinnegan as it is. He's already going to have God knows how many abilities that put him way above most other ninja. Does he really need anything else added on there? Add on to the fact that there is, debate. And I saw it in the comments about whether or not the Rinnegan actually gives you a unique ability from user to user, naturally born, or if it's something to do with the user or six-stage chakra or whatever. I also saw a comment that was actually very apt. It's basically saying why make him hacks, or why hacks or why nerf. And someone answered very good with a very good response, like, you nerf him to make him more relatable and make the story a bit more, interesting, but you nerf him, but you hacks him because sometimes it's just fun to make God mode Naruto or God mode character. So now that we've gone nearly 3 minutes on that, let's get into the actual what if. We are now at the bridge battle. Naruto saved Inari and his mom, gave him the speech, it's okay to cry, really it is, and then goes out to help the gang. But what happened with the gang? What happened with Team 7 with the bridge? So we reach the bridge. Team 7 sees that all of Tasuna's, work companions are on the ground, knocked out, not dead. And someone must have gotten to them and dismissed. Hinata, Sasuke, prepare. Get ready, and they're both guarding him. And obviously, Zabuza and Haku show up. Kakashi, so you were working for Zabuza after all. Don't give the kid it. This isn't about you, the kid. This is about me wanting that bridge builder dead. And you're in the way, Kakashi. Hinata, Sasuke, you think you're ready? You think you can really take me on? Look, you won't even be able to stand a shot. The little brat's still trembling. I'm trembling from excitement. Go ahead, show him, Sasuke. And, Sasuke and Haku duke it out. And don't you go anywhere, Kakashi. If you leave, I'll kill the bridge builder in a heartbeat. And, it's like, just as he kind of put with Sakura, Hinata's feisty. Even Hinata could put up a better fight than Sakura did, but there's no way she could take on Zabuza. Let's see how they do. Oh, besides, gives us a chance to talk a little bit. Where's the other one with the eyes? And then Kakashi's like, the other one with the eyes? Is he talking about Naruto? Haku was watching the battle the whole time. Well, I don't know what kind of dojutsu he has, but I know he has one. So tell me, what are you hiding, Kakashi? It's like, that's none of your business, Zabuza. It's all well and good. I'm sure I'll find out soon enough. Meanwhile, cut to Sasuke versus Haku, and remember that fight started out hand to hand. Now, someone did bring it up too, and I very much was going to address it. That unlike before, where Sasuke was very much at a disadvantage, although physically he was able to keep up with Haku all right. He has the Sharingan. He can predict Haku's movements very well. It's just a matter of keeping up with Haku. And they're duking it out a little bit. No real serious blows are being traded. However, Haku is also very much aware that Sasuke has a Sharingan. And, they clash and just like, you need to surrender. You won't be able to keep up with my speed. Is that a fact? It's like, yes, it is. Forgive me. And Haku goes through the one-handed hand signs. And you should know that while the Sharingan certainly can copy any jutsu it sees, that doesn't necessarily mean that Sasuke would instinctively know how to use a one-handed hand seal. We actually don't see one-handed hand seals pretty much ever outside. I mean, we see the whole one-hand seal thing, sure, but we don't see someone run through a series of one-handed hand signs pretty much ever past that point. It's a concept that's introduced and never really addressed past that point. But still, Sasuke sees that hand size, only one hand. I've never seen that before. Water style, water needle jutsu. And Sasuke sees it and focuses my chakra to my feet. He sees the needles coming, quickly starts to spin. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Sorry, my notebook's there, pencil. Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Needles and fire clash. Now, by all normal standard, the needles should win that clash more often than not. I mean, the fire, it's a little fireball, sure, but the needles are coming at probably a minimum equal speed. They're water, so they're the stronger element, and they're all the striking force is condensed into one point, meaning the piercing power of the needle should be greater than the fireball. But really what this is to do is to slow the needle down, reduce some of the power of the needle, reduce some of the water of the needle, and allow Sasuke more time to get out of there. And he certainly does, and ultimately comes down, it's like Lion's Barrage, something that he hasn't actually seen Lee do yet, but he basically does an axe kick is what he does. Similar to what the Lion's Barrage would ultimately be. My nose is itching, sorry. So he comes down on Haku, just boom, smacks Haku in the head, and Haku just, goes flying back. But Haku counters quickly with a Gale Palm straight to Sasuke's gut, creating the space. And I say that because let's be frank. We never actually saw Haku use any water or wind style techniques except for the water needle. We know Haku probably knows them because ice is a combination of water and wind. So after they create space and Zabuza's like, that brat gotta hit it on Haku. Haku, stop messing around. Yes, forgive me. Yes, Zabuza, forgive me, Sasuke. And ice style. I believe those crystal ice mirrors. When you get the mirrors going, and Sasuke is like, try as you might, you will not see past these mirrors. Gaze into the infinite reflection of your death. And Sasuke's like, please, fire style, fireball jutsu. You'll need much more heat than that if you're going to melt my mirrors. And Haku fires the Senbone all at Sasuke. Now Sasuke, having the Sharingan, should certainly be able to dodge a certain amount of them, as he ultimately was able to start dodging Haku's Senbones a lot easier as the time progressed in the dome, because his Sharingan was activating at that point. But remember, Haku didn't know Sasuke could have the Sharingan to begin with, so he wasn't attacking him like he knew Sasuke would have been able to dodge. So in this, he knows about the Sharingan, so he's attacking Sasuke from a much different perspective, much more precise, much more aim. So even though Sasuke's able to dodge a certain amount of these, he's still not able to dodge all of them. And Sasuke says, God damn it! And he's like, you want more fire? Fine! Fire style! Dragon Flame Jutsu! Obviously a much more intense fire blast. And he goes right for the spot that Haku is currently, stationed in. And Haku does go to a different mirror, and the flame hits and does ultimately melt one of the mirrors. It's like, but is that the best you got? I'll be out here in no time. As Sasuke is starting to huff a little bit, because Phoenix Flower, Fireball, Dragon Fire Jutsu, or Dragon Flame Jutsu. I'm always messing that up. I know it's Dragon Flame Bombs what the third used. Dragon Fire, Dragon Flame, whatever. I'll probably rotate the name out just because I don't remember which one it is. But he's like, So he's starting to huff quite a bit. Like Sasuke is still a Genin. He does not have that much chakra. In fact, he's probably actually really tired out, unfortunately. His Sharingan can still activate because it's just natural part of his genetics to keep it active. So it probably doesn't keep much, doesn't drain much of his chakra to keep it active. But he's smirking until he sees that the mirror just starts to reconstitute. It's just like, impressive. It's been a while since I've seen someone melt my flames. But did you really think with all the water and the moisture in this environment that I would not be able to reform a mirror at will? You'd have to destroy multiple of them just to be able to stop me. And then fires at Sasuke again, who's now really taxed at this point. Now he's not able to dodge much, even with the Sharingan. He can see it coming, but he can't react in time. So he's struggling. He knows, like, I have to help him. And he's like, Sasuke! And she actually channels some lightning chakra into a few kunai and fires it to try to help Sasuke hit the mirror. But Haku just blocks a couple and grabs them. It's like, I will not let you interfere. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he hears, Shinra Tensei! And then one of the chakra rods comes right out and just boom! Basically does what Naruto did with the kunai. Was it a shuriken or kunai? I can't remember which one. I think he did one with a shuriken. Create a gash on Haku's mask. So it hits it and just goes flying out of the dome. And Naruto appears and Naruto Uzumaki is here. And despite Naruto definitely being a bit more matured up in this, he is still very much Naruto. So even they're all just like, that idiot. It's like, he could have been so much more effective. He just stayed hidden. It's like, Naruto, why are you doing this? You have much better advantage from hidden in the mess. It's like, oh God, I just wanted to help. It's like, sorry about that. Sasuke, are you okay? It's like, so Naruto, get out of here. You can't take him on. He's too powerful. And Hina's like, Naruto, you gotta help Sasuke and all that. And so the kid. He's here. That technique, and he remembers hearing that technique too when he fought Kakashi. It's like Shinra Tensei. Zabuza has no idea what that technique is. But to be fair, if he were to hear the description of the Rinnegan, while he's never seen the Rinnegan or anything like that, the Rinnegan is still legendary within the ninja world, and Zabuza is, a very experienced ranked ninja. I'm sure within the passing of time and stories, he's maybe heard the legend. He's probably heard the legend of the Sixth Stage, or the legend of the Rinnegan. But it would take some describing and all that for him to really be like, it's the Rinnegan. So right now he's just like, what? It's like, what is this kid? And he's trying to figure out what Naruto's jutsu is. He can see Naruto, sure, but all he sees is Naruto's blue eyes, and Kakashi then gets involved, trying to keep the focus on him, and their fight goes down and mist thickens, and now him and Kakashi are duking out as they did. Meanwhile, Haku is just like, let me fight him my way, all that. It's like, so you were just trying to trick us. Is that it? He's like, no. And Haku kind of is silent, but at the same time, like, I wasn't trying to trick you, but I am loyal to Zabuza. And they're about to square off. And Naruto actually, because Naruto wears something akin to Jiraiya, maybe a bit baggier to make it look more sage-like, his hands can be hidden. So he immediately summons a rod from his hand, ready to do battle. All of a sudden, Sasuke comes out with a kunai, and he's just, I haven't forgotten about you, not for a moment. Forgive me, Naruto. Our fight will have to wait. It's like, what? No, you can't just run away from me. And then he just goes into the mirror, to which Naruto is looking at the mirror now, just like, wait, what is this jutsu? He can see that Haku's chakra is embedded in the jutsu. Sasuke, don't worry, I'm going to get you out of there. It's like, well, better hurry up, man. I don't know how much longer I got in me. Sasuke, you fire a technique, or fire an attack. It's like, I got a little bit more in me. And meanwhile, Haku's just attacking Sasuke. He's like, now I got to get him out of here. Finish their fireball jutsu. It just attacks the mirror. Doesn't do anything. Your friend Sasuke, it's like, I already tried that. Crap. And then he thinks on it and is like, wait, the chakra, the rod. Because he knows his chakra is imbued in the rod to some degree. He knows he can transmit his chakra with it. And he's then just thinking maybe I can disrupt Haku's chakra. Because you might be thinking, why doesn't just Basho Tenin or Shinra Tensei the ice dome? Well, if he can only Basho Tenin an object at a time. He'd only be like taking one mirror at a time. It really wouldn't be doing much. maybe to have used both hands. It really wouldn't be doing much. And if he Shinra Tensei, he'd actually risk hitting Sasuke. So actually, neither of those are very good options. And Naruto has practiced enough with his techniques to know that they're not good options. Most of his jutsu really aren't that effective in this case because fire style clearly isn't strong enough. Water style will just freeze on ice. Wind isn't going to do anything. His only earth jutsu is a defensive jutsu, and his one lightning technique is too minimal damage. It might burst through the shield, or the mirror, but it's only going to make like a small hole. So Naruto's got to get creative here. Thinking on the chakra rods real quick, he makes basically kind of like pulls like a Wolverine. Actually, he pulls basically like an Anderson and like has 3 in each hand. Actually, he could probably pull off 4 if he tried. So he basically just summons like 3 or 6 or 8, and basically he summons a few clones, 2 clones more or less, and it's like, okay guys, you ready? Sasuke, get ready. It's like, ugh. And Sasuke just opens his eyes and says, all right, the Shinra Tensei, and then blasts all the rods into the mirrors, and then one of the clones dissipates as he's preparing another technique, and then he basically focuses his chakra into the mirrors, and Haku immediately feels something's wrong. He goes to one of the mirrors that isn't pierced by the rods. It's like, what is this? My mirrors, they're failing, they're falling apart. I can't. My chakra is being disrupted. What did he do? And he sees the rods, and it's like he's inserting his chakra into the mirrors, and Naruto's now focusing because Naruto's chakra is large, expansive, and he's been working on chakra control pretty much his whole life. But these really finite amounts of chakra control are not easy for Naruto. So he's really got to put focus into this. It's like, Sasuke, get out of there now. Well, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And Sasuke starts trying to run out of the mirror, and the mirror's like, no, you don't. And Sasuke and Haku just, fires the send button. And Naruto instinctively just reaches out with one of his clones, Basho Tenin, and then just grabs Sasuke with Basho Tenin. Sasuke's able to jump out of there, and then, fire. It's like, I got him! Fire style! Fireball jutsu! Fires the fireball jutsu back at Haku, who went out of the mirror. Kind of like what he did with Naruto when he was in the Kyuubi form. Jumped out of the mirror, just tried to attack him. And that's what he basically tried to do with Sasuke here. Yeah, Haku basically kind of rebounds, kind of like what just Sasuke just did. Sasuke got the Basho Tenin, he got him pulled forward, bounced up, and then turned and then attacked. That's kind of what Haku did here. He attacked, hit the ground, bounced, tries to go back in the mirror. And, Sasuke's fireball is coming right at him. Haku goes for the mirror. It's about halfway through the mirror, and then realizes, like, I can't get in them, and he feels he's being pulled back. Naruto has basically got another Basho Tenin there. He's basically just pulling him out of the mirror, just, no, you don't. And at this point, Naruto's eyes are bleeding. Like, this is a lot of control, a lot of his paths and chakra being used all at once. Like, it's not easy it's not easy on Naruto's body, despite the amount of chakra he has. And yeah, he'll recover fine later on, but as for the moment, this is tough on Naruto. It's like Haku just pulled that, and suddenly the fireball's right there. It's like, water style, water torrent jutsu. Haku in desperation uses a water torrent, has to remove the mask to use it, and the fireball's basically right there. At that moment, basically hot, water, fire, clash, still into Haku's face, so he still gets a lot of the brunt of the heat, not the pure flames on his face, so he's not getting truly burned, but the brunt of the heat, the brunt of the force, the brunt of the fireball just pushes Haku straight on the ground. He goes, and he just hits the ground, just wind gets knocked out of him. Sasuke and Naruto basically have to rush over there. Naruto's huffing, but he, as Haku's eyes open, like, you get the wind knocked out of you, you fall on your back, you open your eyes, and he sees a chakra rod. It's about 3 foot long, not like truly a spear, but definitely longer than what Naruto's been using. And Naruto just stands like, don't move. Don't move, Haku, it's over. Or, well, actually, don't move, and it's over. And then Naruto realizes, like, wait, you're the guy from earlier. You're from then. It's like, what? Why? Why did you do this? And then you get the explanation of why he did what he did. Zabuza took him in. He felt that he was Zabuza's tool. He had purpose. He was happy. Meanwhile, Zabuza is now caught by Kakashi's ninja hounds. Although I will say this, I think Zabuza is faring a little better in this than he did originally, just because he's had other priority focuses in this fight. He's also focused a bit on Naruto, so he's been paying attention to that fight as well. So he's been able to avoid certain scenarios a bit more, but he's still hit by Kakashi's, ninja hounds. They're latched onto him. So Haku basically says, Naruto, kill me. It's like, I'm no longer in use. Please, just finish it. And Sasuke and Naruto, who are both, they've kind of gone through the ringer here a little bit, particularly Sasuke, but Naruto's also, tired. It's like, and Naruto just, lets Haku stand up, and he's got the rod pointing at his face. And he smacks him on the head. He's like, oh! Well, Naruto was like, yeah, don't be an idiot. You said it yourself. Zabuza is the reason you get I gave you a reason to live. If he's your purpose for living, then don't just give up on life. If you failed him, that just means you need to get stronger so you don't fail him again. One failure does not amount to death. One failure just means you need to get stronger to succeed. And this is Naruto just kind of spout and talk no jutsu at this point, but Haku does kind of take that to consideration. And at this point, Kakashi's readying the lightning blade. But, Naruto basically sends a clone to tell Kakashi not to kill Zabuza. And, the clone gets there. It's like, no, it's Kakashi Sensei, don't. Well, Haku's been beaten. We don't need to fight anymore. It's like, it's not that easy, Naruto. It's not that easy, Naruto. We can't just let him. Can't just let Zabuza go. He's dangerous. I know he's dangerous, but Haku doesn't want to fight anymore, and I'm sure Zabuza doesn't really want to fight that much either. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about, brat. I have a job to do, and I plan to finish it. He see Naruto. He's too dangerous. You don't have to do this. It's Naruto's turn to talk to Zabuza. It's like, are you really that cold and heartless? Haku doesn't want you to die. He wants you to live. How are you going to achieve your dream if you die? And Zabuza actually does take a little. I would imagine Zabuza would take that kind of advice a little bit to heart, just a little bit. It's like he would actually mull over that. It's like, I have no choice. If I don't complete this mission, there's no payday for me. I won't be able to complete my dreams. My dreams won't succeed. Either way. It's like, your dreams aren't going to succeed no matter what you do, Zabuza. And therefore, Kakashi deactivates his lightning blade at this point. The hounds disappear too, because Gato showed up and seen with what appeared to be, I don't know how many guys he had. It looked like he had maybe 100 guys there. And everyone's just like, what? It's like, oh, what's going on? It's like, I decided to cancel your employment. You're too expensive, and you ask too many, and you cause too many problems. And so everyone's just like, oh, well, Kakashi, seems we have no quarrel. Without seeing as I'm no longer on Gato's employment, I have no reason to target Tazuna. We have no quarrel. And I guess that is true after all. So now all we have to do here is kill Tazuna and be done with it. And then Naruto is the one, obviously, he's like, if you think we're going to let that happen, you're dead wrong. Now, Naruto at this point, by the way, his Rinnegan is actually on full display because he's been actually used up a lot of chakra, and especially during the six paths moment with Sasuke and Haku, his Rinnegan was on full display. Like they're because like I said when I explained the whole thing with his jutsu that hides his eyes. If he's activating a jutsu, it's causing a disruption with his chakra because he has to use his chakra. Particularly six path jutsus is going to show off his Rinnegan. Naruto's Rinnegan's on full display, and Zabuza actually gets a look at his eyes. And Kakashi can see, it's like, oh, why is Naruto's eyes visible? Is his jutsu not reset yet? And you can see, and Zabuza can see, it's like, those eyes, why do they seem so familiar? Those purple rings, it can't be is that the Rinnegan? I've only heard legends about it. I've only heard about it in legend. No. And then Zabuza kind of smiles like, this brat really is full of amazing things. And Gaku's like, oh, so two birds, one stone. I can get rid of you, Zabuza, and I can get rid of you pesky brats as well. And and he's like, yeah. And even though they're all tired, it's like, you want to get through them. You're gonna have to get through us, me, Gato. Yeah, you think you can just hire me and then not pay me? You've got another thing coming. And Haku's like, uh, of course, you don't get to use us just like that. That's right. And obviously Kakashi and everyone's just standing at the ready, and Naruto's and Naruto's like, that's right. And then he makes a couple clones. Many of them have their eyes closed. It's like, Hinata. It's like, want to send these guys a message? Now, Hinata, you'll note, has not really had any part in this. And that's because she's had to play the Sakura role, unfortunately. But someone had to stay and protect Tazuna regardless. And let's be honest, she'll do a much better job than Sakura would have. But because of a technique I gave her in the last episode, I get to have some fun. So it's like, and basically Naruto, Haku, you know water jutsu, right? And Zabuza, care to give these guys a bath? And Zabuza's just like, what do you have in mind, brat? And kid, it's like, follow me. And they all just, douse the entire, horde as they're charging. They all get wet. It's like, is that the best you got? I thought, no. Hinata, why don't you show them what the best we got is? And then Hinata actually gets almost like a like a sinister, almost like Anko look on her face, and she's like, not with pleasure, but she would probably say something absolutely, and then she does the hand size, and she puts a lot of chakra in the technique. Lightning style, lightning thread jutsu, basically force lightning the entire group who are soaking wet, so they're just. And a lot of them just drop. The bigger ones are able to take a bit more of the hit, so like a good half of the group drops, and then basically Zabuza comes in and just, there's no one here, puppy. That's just the house. That's just sorry. My dog heard the furnace kick or something like that. It's all good. But Zabuza comes in, starts wrecking his shop, and everyone else, comes in and beats the crap out of him. And it's Gato's friends like, no, 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 and then Zabuza stops. And he's like, please don't do it, don't kill me, I'll give you anything you want. He's like, no, you won't, Gato. It's over. And then Naruto actually stops and is like, no, I have something. Killing him won't do anything. If he dies, everything he has just goes to waste. No, I have something better. I have something better in mind. It's like, what? And it's like, you will die. And Naruto actually gets started. It's like, you will die here today, Gato, but not before you repent for what you did. And he actually takes his hand to Gato's head. It's like, you will give back everything you took from these people. And Gato, I imagine, would be one of those guys who'd growl for his life, like offer money and stuff like that. But giving everything is like, what are you going to do? It's like, take back everything you, like I said, you're going to be taking back everything you ever took from them. And that includes their livelihood. And that includes their livelihood and their soul. And then he just whispers, human path. And he just takes out Gato's soul and basically just, scans the information. And it's like, I now know what I need to know. And just takes it. And then Gato just drops. And this is the first time anyone's ever seen that technique, including Kakashi. Though he's heard about the moment he used it against Jiraiya. Jiraiya's clone, but this is like, and Kakashi goes, "What did you do?" It's like and he explains the human path. The human path, it can take a person's soul and completely throw it to the wayside, killing them, guaranteed killing them. But it can do one other thing too. It can gather, it can collect information and give me all the information they had. And I now know all of Gato's bank accounts and all that. And Naruto basically just takes a scroll. And a little later on, he takes a scroll and he writes down all the information for the village hidden in the mist, including giving Zabuza a paycheck. And he gives it to the people and Zabuza and all that. And it's like, yeah, I gave everything Gato had back to these people. So, and they're just like, whoa, that's a seriously messed up technique. It's like, yeah, and Naruto even says, I don't like using it. It's a definite kill if I ever try to use it. I don't like doing it. So you basically cut now to, and the villagers show up. It's like, well, wait, what happened here? It's like, is it over? Yeah, it's over. Naruto, you did it? Yeah, I did it. And Naruto's eyes finally reset. Tell me, is it the ability of those eyes of yours? Yeah, and they see just, oh yeah, my eyes. Like, relax. I doubt anyone would believe me if I told them anyway. And that's a heavily guarded secret, Zabs. I don't know if we can run the risk of you having loose lips. Relax. I tried to overthrow a fascist government killing people just because they were different. You think I'm really gonna rat on the kid? And it's like, fair enough. So we're past the 30-minute mark. I'm just gonna wrap up the wave arc now. We get to the end where Naruto and the gang are about to leave. Inari and him say their goodbyes, and Zabuza and Haku are there. And they say, Zabuza, you could always, there's always a place for you to leave. I'm sure the third Hokage would love having someone like you, a former swordsman and all that. That'd be great. And Zabuza comments that I sometimes have Zabuza join. Sometimes I have him make his own village. But Zabuza comments that I'm a wanted ninja kid. I am a rogue ninja. I try to overthrow a government. I just can't go joining villages willy-nilly like that. And Kakashi, agrees with that. Like, he can't just do that, Naruto. There's a lot of political issues to it. And it's like, oh man, that sucks. Like, but Zabuza then looks over, is like, Haku, you go but Haku can go with you. And Haku's like, wait, what? No, I'm staying with you, Zabuza. You can only grow so much with staying with me, Haku. You were never a ninja. You were never in the academy. You were never on their record. You can still have a life beyond what we're doing now, a better life. You deserve that. My son, and he looks like my son deserves that because and Haku kind of starts to tear. I was like, my son is he? But he's like, yeah, Haku. I thought of you more as, despite calling you to, I thought of you more as more than just that. You are my. I raised you not just as a tool. You are my son. Let's be, and you will always be my son. And Haku just gives him a hug, and and Zabuza's got some tears in his eye, and Naruto's smiling, a little surprised to see what he's seeing, and Zabuza actually looks at him and is like, "Are you so surprised to see that so surprised to see that I'm human? Even Shinobi are human, even though we choose to hide it, and we still fail. At least I have failed." I can see a cute variation on that little line. I like that. I like that. Zabuza's death is one of the best parts of the original Naruto series. It's one of the best parts of Naruto. Period. It's like it was just a badass way for him to go out. But Haku, says I don't want to go. Will I ever see you again? And then Zabuza just gives him a look and just suddenly takes his sword off his back and hands it to Haku, saying, "I'll be back for this one day." And he's like, wield it well until then. If you think it's a little odd for him to be wielding Zabuza's blade, remember, he was able to lift up Zabuza with his blade and take him probably several kilometers away from Team 7 after their fight with Zabuza. I have no doubt Haku could lift that thing. Wielding it effectively like Zabuza does, debatable. Like maybe for short bursts. But lift it and at least kind of use it, sure, absolutely. He's not a swordsman, clearly. Zabuza also then takes off his headband, takes off his bandages, reveals his face, like, just shows off that I think I'm going to hang around here for a while until things can blow over. Then one day I may come back. Let me rephrase this sentence. One day I will come back. Come back for you, Haku. Maybe I'll even join the Leaf. Who knows? But for now, I think it's time for me to, chill, keep my head low for now. Besides, thanks to the kid, it looks over Naruto. Thanks to the kid, we got a nice payday, so I'm in no rush. And with that, Haku bids his farewells, and all of that. Zabuza, is hanging out with them. Honestly, I think it's like, well, you're going to need a place to stay there, Zabuza. It's like, what are you offering to put me up? Well, of course, you also help save the day too. It's only fair that we offer the same courtesy. It's like, yeah, cool. I mean, I don't like the fact you tried to kill Grandpa, but you were only hired. It's only just because that was your job. You don't, and so it's cool. You think, and Nari even gets like kind of say, think you could teach me some stuff? That'd be really cool. It's like, and Zabuza's just like, it's like, yeah, perhaps, maybe I could show you a thing or two. What are we by? And she says, what are we going to call the bridge? The great, and he thinks about Naruto's eyes because he also briefly saw Naruto's eyes too. The ripples, patterns, the circles, the swirls, if you will. Even though it's not really swirls, I imagine seeing as Uzumaki is also like swirl. That's what I believe it translates to. It's like, how about the Great Uzumaki Bridge, which honestly sounds better than Great Naruto Bridge, quite frankly. It's like, in honor of the one who gave our country hope again. And it's like, not, that's a pretty good name. It doesn't have a bad ring to it. Yeah, and that's where the wave arc ends. So wave arc is over. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be entering now the tuning exam arc coming forward, and I've got a few things coming up for the tuning exam arc. By the way, you'll notice the Azura Path didn't make an appearance in this episode. I wanted to focus. When I first did the this what if before I had to redo it, I considered having the Azura Path show up, but it really didn't make Naruto only just activated and he did not like the way it felt when he activated it, so I didn't feel it made more sense redoing this that he would use the Azura Path. But the human path, I like that idea. So anyway, that is the end of part 8. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that button if you want notifications. Ideas for who would win Star Wars Superhero Magic. What, if anything, do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that review of it at some point. See you next time. Have a good one, folks.